Welcome back. A major change at Walmart now, with CEO Doug McMillan retiring at the end of the month after a 40-year career at Walmart, wrapping up 12 years as CEO this week. Joining me now, the man himself, Walmart CEO Doug McMillan. Doug, congratulations.
Thanks, Maria. Great to see you.
Great to see you. And you hand over a company that is much different and stronger than when you took over. Talk to us about the state of Walmart today.
Well, it's great to have momentum, and I want to thank our associates for all the hard work. You know, things aren't stopping here. They're just going to keep going and keep changing and keep growing the company. But I'm so proud of what they've done over the years, the way they've learned, the way they've changed, the way they've grown the company to serve customers and members better. We've kind of focused on the things that needed to stay the same and strengthen those things like our values and our culture, the purpose of the company, and tried to drive a ton of change everywhere else to strengthen what we're doing for customers.
And one of the biggest changes, I would say, is the digital transformation that you oversaw. Talk to us about how you've pivoted this company into the digital age.
Yeah, we went from being a brick-and-mortar retailer really to being an omni-channel retailer. And it started out years ago with us just trying to build an e-commerce business. But what we learned along the way is that the magic is in the way that you put them together so that you can serve people in the ways they want to be served. You know, there are constants, like people are always looking for value. These days, they want access to an incredibly broad assortment. The experience of shopping, whether it's in-store or online, needs to just keep getting better and better all the time. And then the fourth dimension is trust. We want to earn everyone's trust with everything that we do. And the company's made progress on all four of those dimensions.
Why was it important for Walmart to launch Bitcoin and the ETH trading via the OnePay app? Talk to us about some of the specific changes you've made.
Well, we're always trying to learn, and some of the things we do are experimental. And what we're trying to do is make sure that we're positioned to serve people in the way they want to be served. Financial services are an important part of our business. We have not only this joint venture here in the U.S. with Ribbit Capital that becomes One Financial, but we also have a large investment in India with PhonePe. We have a financial services business in Mexico and in other places. And it helps our customers be able to pay efficiently and get some of the other services they need just beyond merchandise and great prices.
AI has been critical. Talk to us about Walmart's greatest transformation. What was it?
Well, there's not just one thing. I think we describe ourselves these days as a people-led, tech-powered company. I think we start by doing things for our associates, whether it's what we've done to increase wages or cash bonus or things like our 401k and share purchase plan, where the company helps people build a financial future, but also paying for education. You can come to work at Walmart today and we'll help cover your tuition and books so that you can get a degree or a work certificate if that's what you want. So people is where everything starts. We always say that our people make the difference, and that is true today as it's ever been. And then at the same time, we want to be as good as anyone at deploying today's technology to reinvent the business. And we're in some ways a supply chain business. We've made some big investments with physical automation in addition to what we're doing with technology as it relates to AI, software, and how we use our data. We're trying to save people time and serve up what they want to shop, you know, whether it's an item that they're looking for that's a specific item or whether it's the way they're trying to replenish what they're doing in the kitchen. So it's really about personalization. It's about saving people time. It's about serving up what they need at the best possible price.
I mean, one of the big changes just recently was the implementation of tariffs, and that, of course, has been hard for so many companies. You're trying to offer the lowest price possible, but that became tough with the introduction of these tariffs out of the administration. How tough was that, and how did you get around it?
Definitely a challenge, but looking at what the team's done this year, Maria, I'm really impressed. If you'd told me how well they were going to do managing inventory and helping manage our pricing, I might not have believed you. I mean, they've just done a fantastic job as things have shifted around and costs have changed. Today in the U.S., we have over 7,000 rollbacks. They're doing a great job of trying to provide value for customers when they've been able to push inflation down to low single digits and help our customers as they're looking for value. How do you lower prices in one category, offset costs in others to manage the total so that the basket that a customer is buying when they come to shop in our store or online is as low as it can possibly be? So in some cases, we absorbed prices. In some cases, our suppliers helped. In other cases, we decided that we needed to take a rollback on our side to get something down for 90 days, for example, to try and help during a key seasonal period. We focus on things like the Thanksgiving meal or the upcoming Easter meal and making sure that things are affordable for our customers by managing that mix.
I mean, you also had a major leadership test during COVID. How did you deal with that?
Yeah, we all did, didn't we? That was such a difficult period of time, and I'm really proud of how our associates stepped up. We increased our decision-making speed, made some incredible things happen to keep our stores open and keep them safe and serve people with things like COVID testing and eventually immunizations. And I'm really proud of how our associates around the world stood up to help serve people during that period of time. They did a fantastic job.
President Trump wants the supply chains in America. How will you change the supply chain? How will you change the way Walmart does business? And what is the future in terms of the president's push to get supply chains in America and not import from China, among other places?
We've always wanted to buy locally and buy where we are, and our biggest business is here in the U.S. And more than 2/3 of what we sell here in the U.S. is made, grown, or assembled here. And we've been trying to drive that number up for years and have been making progress. And that happens an item at a time and a category time. We work with suppliers, we work with states, we work with the federal government to try and create the right incentives so that that can occur. And we'll keep doing that. We want to buy more and more in the U.S., and we've got public commitments out there to buy even more than we're buying today. Our sourcing strategy has been fairly consistent in that we're trying to buy more in the U.S. all the time anyway. Our businesses around the world source locally as well. A lot of those businesses are heavily dependent on the food categories, and those are purchased locally for the most part.
So tell us about the food category. That's also been a great growth strategy for Walmart.
Yes, not only in our stores and Sam's Clubs, but e-commerce-wise too. We've been able to create a curbside pickup business and a delivery business over the years that's made it more convenient for our customers, and that was headed up at a really strong clip until a pandemic happened, and then it step changed to an even higher level of growth, and it's just kind of continued to grow on the heels of the pandemic because it saves people time. And we do a great job sourcing fresh produce and having all the fresh categories, but also being able to serve customers by putting a toy or a piece of fashion apparel in that same order so it becomes even more convenient than just buying grocery.
Doug, with all the worry on inflation, tell us what you've seen in terms of the changing customer at Walmart, because increasingly we're seeing that highest earners are actually going to Walmart because everyone wants value.
That's right. Everyone does want value. And what we've seen is, over the years, people with more money have kind of cherry-picked Walmart. They might have bought their laundry detergent there and their food there, maybe their television there, but they didn't buy fashion apparel there. And with the combination of changes that we've made with our merchandise and the convenience of e-commerce, we've been able to serve people at all income levels more effectively. We certainly want to take care of opening price point customers, people that are most value conscious. We'll always be focused on that. But the more convenient aspects of Walmart have shown up for those that have higher income levels. And in some of the surveys we've seen in more recent times, we get rated almost as highly for convenience as we do for price. And that was a new development for us.
So where is Walmart raising prices versus cutting prices right now?
Yeah, we're seeing prices, as I mentioned before, be kind of low single digit, generally speaking. Food and GM are a little bit different, but it's been more consistent in the last 12 months or so. The team's done a great job working through what's happened with tariffs. I think the real issue is not just what's happened in the last 12 months, but it's what's happened to pricing over many years. And it'll just take a while for wage inflation in the country to catch up to some of the cost of goods increases that we've seen over a longer time horizon.
So what are the biggest ongoing supply chain cost drivers right now?
Well, some of the categories that are heavily imported, when you think about toys or Christmas supplies, red and green, things like electronics, where those are largely imported, those are where we can feel more pressure. And we're trying to do everything we can to get not only those categories, but other categories made in the USA. We got a great team, whether it's the merchants, the replenishment team, or those that help us clear goods through customs. They've done a great job of staying on top of all those changes.
What are the specific segments that you're expecting that you'll be investing in the future, your successor to be investing to take share from some of your competitors, like a Target or a Dollar Stores or even the online players?
Yeah, the team will keep investing in brick and mortar. We'll keep investing in the e-commerce capabilities, more fulfillment capabilities, more automation. Continue to invest in AI to try and create better customer experiences. And as it relates to categories, we'll be playing offense everywhere, whether it's fashion apparel or it's sporting goods or the food categories. And we'll do that in an omni fashion. E-commerce will play a key role.
What else are you using AI in terms of inventory and forecasting pricing?
AI is really helping us as it relates to inventory management and flow. Maria, so much of retail, as you know, is dependent on good inventory management. If you have the right amount at the right time, things go so much more smoothly. Too much or too little, and it creates problems. And AI is helping us do a better job of forecasting, for example. We watch our pricing very closely, not only versus yesterday, but versus our competition to make sure that we're showing the value relative to others, and our team has navigated that really well.
Doug, how would you assess the customer today? What can you tell us about the consumer in terms of he or she's health and their spending?
Yeah, they've been definitely resilient and somewhat consistent in terms of the data that we see. You know, there have been pressures for sure, and depending on your income level, you feel a greater level of pressure than maybe some other people do, and we're certainly sensitive to that and working hard to keep our prices as low as we possibly can. But given everything that's happened this year, they've been remarkably consistent.
And what would you expect for 2026 in terms of the broader economy?
I think we're going to see growth. We are feeling good about this coming year, and I think John and the team are well positioned in regards to things like inventory management as we start the year.
Doug, it's great to talk with you.
Thanks for the time, Maria. Great to see you.
And to you. Thanks very much, Doug McMillan. We'll be right back.